with County Mayor Mark Ward.
He was here the first part of the week on the County Benton portion of our broadcast. We appreciate Mark being with us Monday. Appreciate the fact he's back with us today. Mark, you have sent some excellent spokespeople from their various role in county government. And thank you for sending such interesting people this week.
Well, thank you for having them on. I just think it's great for the county to be able to hear from some of the county leaders and know what's going on firsthand. I appreciate y'all interviewing them and letting them get their word out. Pamela, I'm going to give you a test in 45 minutes. I've been listening to all these, so you don't get to graduate till you get your test, okay?
Oh dear. Okay. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I used to, never mind, I'd tell y'all how I passed tests, but we're not going to talk about that.
We better not. I'm sure the way you passed tests and the way I passed tests were very different.
Two different ways.
They were. How did you pass tests back at Central High School, Mark?
I'll say barely.
Barely, yeah. Got your high school diploma like me.
I still got my diploma.
Yeah, so do I, yeah. But we appreciate all the information you've passed along since Monday and all the county representatives we've had up here. But we've probably got new listenership today, so in case people missed us Monday, let's have a recap. What are some things you really want to get out to the public that they need to know right now as far as the county of Benton goes?
Yeah, I'd like for everybody to understand and know what's going on. You know, we're very busy in the mayor's office. I'm working as hard as I can to try to bring industry into Benton County. That's what I've seen that we've been lacking over the several years, decades actually. And so that's my main reason for wanting to be county mayor, is to try to bring some industry in, because I understand that it broadens your tax base when you have industry. Not only do you have the property tax and all the different taxes that the business pays, but they're paying these salaries to all these employees that are going out and spending that money in the community. They're buying houses and cars and whatnot and paying taxes on all that. So the more jobs that you can have in Benton County, the better it is for everyone that's here. So I thought, since the Blue Oval was coming to West Tennessee and the way things are growing in Tennessee, you know, Tennessee is a business-friendly and an industry-friendly state. It's not that way in a lot of states. So I just thought that now, and I was right, now is the perfect time to try to recruit industry for Benton County. You can't just go and say, hey, we want you here. There's so many things that you have to do to make it available for them. You have to have all your utilities and stuff in place, own the land. You got to have land. So that's what I've been working, is try to get utilities and land in places where we can recruit industry. And saying that, I'll say up at the interstate, up at 126 exit, Buck, the highway department, he was just on here a couple days ago. He probably touched base on this, but he and I worked together and they widened and straightened Gossett Road, which that's what leads to Wallymo, and it also leads to a new industry that's building in Benton County. It's the name of it's Tally. It's going to be a powder coat company. So that's two businesses. Wallymo has sold, and they're looking at expanding their business. They sold to the second largest car hauler manufacturer in America, and I've met with them several times. What their plans are is to build a factory right there at Wallymo. You know, it's just a sales pretty much now, but they're going to build a factory there that's probably going to employ between 100 and 200 people, and they're going to start making all their 95-foot car haulers there at Wallymo. So we need to get our road. We had to get three-phase power in there, get the utilities moved over to make way for these trucks and stuff that are going to be using that road. And so in dealing with them, I was dealing with Johnny Monroe, the owner of Wallymo, the one that just sold it. And he has 70 acres on the left side of the road that the industrial board is purchasing right now for our industrial park south. And we had previously purchased about 55 acres on the corner of Gossett Road and 641. So we kept 15 of those acres, but we sold the rest of it to Volunteer Asphalt and Seal Coating Company. That's one of the industries I'm very proud of, because they're going to employ 80 people. You know, they have good benefits and everything. It's a good job. They're spending $10 million to build their facility. So all of that will be property tax and personal property tax for Benton County. So it's a win-win. But since we've sold that to them, and they've already got that under construction, almost finished. I think they are in production on some of it. But since we've been talking to those guys and Wallymo, there's a company that's really wanting to locate here because they make the hydraulic cylinders, the aluminum hydraulic cylinders that make those car haulers go up and down to raise the cars up and down. And since this is the second largest supplier of call haulers in America, this company wants to locate here because they know they're going to be using a lot of them. So we're in negotiations with them right now to be one of the first companies in our new industrial park when we get it going. I'm on the Decatur-Benton Sewer District. I go and sit in on all their meetings. When you start trying to relocate or locate businesses and industry here, you have to make sure that you have the water and sewers. So we've applied for grants and we've got them to extend those lines to Gossett Road. That's going to be happening over the next year or so, and to expand the size of the sewer pond so it can take more, so we can locate more businesses there. Because when you start seeing the way they're redoing I-40 through Benton County, widening it, and they're going to redo the whole interchange where you get on and off. It's all going to be brand new. They're putting 27 of those huge digital lights like they have in Jackson and Dixon in Benton County. We're halfway between Jackson and Dixon, so with it lit up like that, more people are going to be getting off. We already see this new company that's up there, the truck stop. Is it Love's?
Love's and the other one that took up where North 40,
That's
where
right.
North 40 is now. Yes, yes.
So when Love's built, they're the number one tax generator in Benton County now for Benton County.
Wow.
Sales tax and fuel tax. So, and then along with the other one, they picked up the slack and actually have improved it over what North 40 was. So that's helped us so much, but that's bringing so many more people off the interstate. And you're going to continue to see that, especially when we get industry up there. So I believe you'll be seeing hotel, restaurants, Cracker Barrels looking at it. Well, I believe we'll be able to get some good businesses up there too that will be also generating a huge amount of sales tax for Benton County. And I focus on sales tax and property tax because everything we can bring in from new things, it helps us be able to do more new things or lower the taxes that the average citizens are paying. So Jennifer Wheatley, I want to sing her praises. She's our Economic Development Director. She is outstanding. She's got so many contacts to the state because she's been doing this for years. She's done it in Jackson and Henry County, different things. And she already knows everybody and everything about what we need to know. So I just call her on a daily basis, usually several times a day, about different things. But she helps us out so much. But she was instrumental in us purchasing first the building in the industrial park that was all junked up and not being used for industry. It was just being used for storage. And we worked that deal and bought that back, got it cleaned up, and we've sold that to J&J Machine Shop over in Jackson. He has a machine shop in Jackson. He does all that work for Procter & Gamble and Kellogg's and all that. And he also has one in Dyersburg. But knowing what's going to happen in West Tennessee when the Blue Oval gets open, he knows his workforce is going to be, a lot of them are going to go to work for Blue Oval or some of their subsidiary companies. And he talked to me and he says, well, I have a summer home at Hallshire. And he said, I would love to have that building and bring it to a different workforce. And it makes perfect sense. So he has bought it and he's done lots of work to the building, paved the parking lot, and he's just getting it all ready. He's got his equipment coming in. So if you're a machinist and you're having to drive out of town to work, hit him up over at J&J. They'll be doing hiring soon because they're going to be getting ready to open soon. And same way with Belial Machine and Tool. I don't know if y'all have been by there, but they have probably tripled or quadrupled the size of their business out at the industrial park this year. They're in the process of it. And Jeff, he's a great guy. So if you need a machine shop job, go hit him up because I'm sure he's going to hire about 100 people this year, somewhere around there. So we see some growth, like with Volunteer Paving, Belial Machine and Tool, J&J, Tally up at the interstate. But the one I'm most excited about is out on the bypass. I've been meeting with the governor and with the commissioner over economic development, Stuart McWhorter. And 6 months ago, Jennifer and I met with them. And they said, we're very interested in this 500-acre tract. It's 565-acre tract on the bypass because it has 60 megawatts of power coming to it. There's no other land available in West Tennessee that has 60 megawatts of power and has over 200 acres. And that's what they explained to us. And they said, we want y'all to see if this is going to be feasible. for us to put some industry in there, because we need some industry, and we need it, to be 60 or 70 miles away from the Blue Oval hub. So they gave us $100,000 and told us to do certain things, the environmental and drilling to make sure the compaction rate was right for these huge concrete pads and all. And we did that 6 months ago, and they all came back positive, very positive. So Jennifer and I went up and met with Stuart McWhorter, about 3 weeks ago, and took him all those results and everything. And he has told us that he's opening a grant for us in September, which is just around the corner. I can't hardly wait. I'm wishing my year away, waiting on September. But he said he's going to open up a grant for us to pay for 95% of that land for us, because they know that the use is there. So it won't cost the taxpayers of Benton County very little, 5%. We're talking about $2 million to purchase the land. And then we're sitting at the table with TVA, and they say that they're going to open up a grant, an SDG grant for us to do the groundwork, to clear the trees and level it. And they're wanting us to put a 3 million square foot pad and a 1 million square foot pad in the center of 200 acres, just off the bypass there across from the racetrack. One of the other reasons it's so desirable is it has the railroad running through it. So if a company needed to use the rail, they could get a spur. We did a feasibility study on that too, and the railroad's given us a cost analysis and all, and feasibility, and it's good to go. If a companies that are going to be coming in are that big, the cost of that, it's astounding to you and I, and the county can't do it. But for a company these two companies that are looking to come here, looking at spending $300 to $500 million to build their company, it costs $11 million to get a railroad spur put in. So if you look at the comparison, it's not that much to them, because they're going to be making all that money back. Where if a county tried to do it, it would probably bankrupt you to try to get it ready for that. So we just do the feasibility on stuff like that and say it's available. But it's so positive when you go sit down with the governor and with the economic development director, Mr. McWhorter, and hear those words, because they have these companies, they're dealing with these companies, they're looking for somewhere for them to come, and they're seeing that Benton County has a workforce. I don't know if you're aware, but we have 1,600 people. Our workforce in Benton County it's less than 5,000, and we have 1,600 people driving out of the county every day to work. So I feel like it's my responsibility to try to get those 1,600 people home.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Plus get our kids homes that have moved away at different places to get jobs. If we have companies in here like that, hopefully some of them can come back and live back in Benton County and enjoy it. Just like Andrew was saying, it's a great community. So I just want to try to bring some jobs in here and expand the tax base and make it easier for us to have a good time and live here and work here.
I heard Jennifer in a meeting, I guess maybe a year or so ago, and she says she is constantly getting questionnaires. She has no idea where the questionnaire is coming from, but she's getting questionnaires through the mail. People are asking about, what do you have in Benton County? What do you have to offer? And she will send it back. She has no idea what what people may be looking to expand their industries. She has no idea where that's going back to.
Listen, we only have had economic development director for about almost 3 years now, and it's been Jennifer. Before that, it just kind of fell on the county mayor and the Chamber of Commerce. People don't understand how complex these RFIs, they call them RFIs. A company will send you a request for information just like you're talking about, and they're looking to come to an area. They may send them out to 100 different places and see who has the best fit for them. But she brings me these RFIs. She gets RFIs every day looking to see if Benton County is a good place to come and what we have available. They always want how much sewer and water is available and how many sites you have, what size the sites are, blah, blah, blah. A lot of them are food processing companies, and there's no way Benton County can provide enough water for a food processing company. So those, she just has to answer back and say, we can't do those. But she gets some every day, and we have purchased 2 lots at the industrial park since we bought the J&J building. Both sides of Natchez Trace Road, as you're coming up to the industrial park, it's cornfields right now, but we've bought both sides of that. So we have 2 lots there, and we have another lot inside the industrial park that we have somewhat of an option on that's across the street from where J&J's building. So we've got 3 lots. One of these companies are going to hit on one of these lots soon, I'm sure, because like when we bought the one at the interstate, it was only 30 days before I had it sold to Volunteer. These companies are calling, and Jennifer had been talking to Volunteer about it, for a couple of months before that happened. It just worked out great. But it's unreal how many of the RFIs she gets on a daily basis. But I'm glad you brought that up, because since the last meeting with Stuart McWhorter and them telling us they're going to open up a grant for us to buy that 565 acres, we've got 2 RFIs. One of them is, and this is the reason TVA and Stuart said we needed those 3 million square foot pad, and one of these companies needs a 1 million square foot pad, and one of them needs a 3 million, and it wasn't sent to anyone else. It was sent directly to Benton County. Most of the RFIs you can see the whole tag up there where it's sent to 30 or 40 different counties. This was sent to only Benton County, so they won't tell us who they are yet.
It's exciting. Or you would share that with us.
I would share it with you because I'm excited about it. But, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch or anything like that. But everything's been so positive these first 2 years that I've been mayor. Everything just seems to fall in place. Just, everything's a struggle, but it seems like it's doing well. Just like with the Sears building. You want me to touch on that right quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
The Sears building, we bought that about a year ago, and we're remodeling it now. We're going to make a senior citizen center there and the ag extension office there. So that'll be a facelift on Main Street, which we definitely need. It'll be a really good looking building when it's done, but it'll also offer something better for our seniors and for our farmers and all, a lot better place for them. They've been struggling for years in the little places that they're at, so I'm very happy that this is happening. And over on 641, just behind the 911 building that they built a couple of years ago, that's on 70, but if you go through the back of it, the lots touch each other. On 641 there, right past Dr. Roy Dedman's, we're getting ready to build an EMA building there. Mr. Key, he's been very patient with us. We've kind of jerked him around over the last 5 years, trying to get him a place. We've had him at 3 different places, and he don't have a place for his storage for all of his equipment, his training equipment, his trucks, his trailers, and he's kind of functioning out of a makeshift office right now. So I'm very pleased with this. It's coming along. They just put it out for bids, so the construction should be finished with it by March, and we'll have a new EMA building also, just similar to the 911 building. But we got to keep up with everything in Benton County. We don't want people driving through saying, look at this shabby town and how they run their county. We want everything to look nice and to be good for all the citizens.
Go ahead, young lady.
Well, thanks for calling me young. So I just see all my check marks because, of course, I made notes remembering back to Monday when we interviewed the old Walmart building. Let's discuss that a little bit because we talked about that on Monday. We some interest maybe from Tractor Supply. Was that right, Mark?
The interest. Okay, first of all, I set up a contract for sale with a gentleman named Aaron Ray. He was with Napa. He had like 7 or 8 Napa stores, and he wanted it so bad he couldn't stand it. And he had a contract on it, but his contract expired. And I didn't try to work with him anymore because he had 6 months. And he was having trouble finding people to go into the building with him to actually commit. He had several people that wanted to, but it was just, when you're dealing with people that have budgets, they have different fiscal years, and they have to fund it for the year coming up, and you may have to wait a year because they have to fund it. He was having some troubles like that. But he's a great guy, wonderful guy. I really want him in our community. I think that he's still going to build a Napa store here, but I don't know where. But when his contract expired, Tractor Supply had been watching that contract. We had talked to them before, and they passed on it. But they had been watching that contract and calling me every week or two wanting to know when it was going to expire. This is not me contacting them. They were contacting me. And they're a company out of Ohio that is the biggest tractor supply company in the United States. And they're wanting that building for a Tractor Supply. And they've had a contract on it for about 5 months now. The county signed a contract to sell it to them. And they still haven't acted on it. And I called him the other day. I'm like, dude, you're going to have to do something because I've got 2 other people wanting this building, that are serious about it. he said, "Oh, we're dead serious." He said, "We're getting a grocery store to come in there with us, and we're having to go through all the procedures and stuff." He said, "Please give me a few more days." So we're working with him, but if that falls through, which I want Tractor Supply and a grocery store, I think the community needs that. But if that does fall through, we do have a couple of other people that are really wanting the building. Benton County Co-op, it's United Cooperative Services now. They've been bought out. I think they have 7 or 8. If you ever go to Columbia, you can check out what they have there. It's just about like a Tractor Supply, honestly, but with a bigger clothing line, actually. But that's what they're wanting to do out here on 641. They want to use part of it for a warehouse for their other 7 stores, and then have half of it for retail business. I think that if this does work out with them, that they'll leave their fertilize and their tire shop and all here, and just do the farm store and family store out there. But I can't commit with them until we see what's going to happen with Tractor Supply.
Sure.
And we have another company, we talked about this Monday, Hyperion X. They're looking for a warehouse, and I don't really want the Walmart building in the commercial area to be a warehouse, but that would be a follow-up option if everything else failed, because they are an up-and-coming company that's going to be absolutely amazing for our economy and for our county, us, Henry and Carroll County.
That's right.
So we want to work with them any way we can to try to make them happy here.
Lots going on, and I tell you what, you laid it out right now. We could go on the rest of the afternoon with this, Mark.
Hey, let's do it. Hey, let's talk about Main Street and Highway 70 and the Interstate I-40 all getting paid.
Repaving, yeah.
You know,
I've seen construction
I've seen
signs.
more
Yeah.
talk about this on Facebook and everything before it started. Everybody's and me included. It's awful when you go down Main Street and can't even keep your coffee in your cup.
Well, that's true.
So
We don't complain a lot on air, Flash and
I'm not complaining. This is a state highway. These are all state highways, and everybody calls me and Buck and everybody because they just think the mayor and the county would take care of that, but these are all state highways.
That's true.
And Buck and I have made several trips to Nashville about Highway 70 and about Main Street and I-40. That's going to be amazing when they get that done. And most of the roads around here are pretty good, especially the state ones, but these are going to make it a lot better to get them resurfaced. And I see that they're widening them and grinding them and getting them smooth and everything before they resurface them. So all that construction is going to be aggravating for a few weeks, but it's all getting ready to start. They're putting up all the signs and doing all the legwork now, so I'm excited about that too.
And we're fortunate to get this right away. It will be maybe somewhat aggravating for the traffic for a few weeks, but we will appreciate it when it's all said and done. And at the same time, when we are wanting these things, we're wanting our roads that you mentioned, Mark, to be repaved. So are other 95 counties in the state of Tennessee.
Exactly, and that's what Buck and I always see when we go to those meetings and go to Nashville and talk to them. You're behind everyone else, Are we as important as Jackson, Memphis, Nashville,
Right.
Cookeville, Knoxville?
Well, we think so.
We think so, and we are. I mean, we're paying the same amount of taxes
That's
as far
right.
as our road coverage and all. So yes, we are, and that's what they're lobbying for, is to let them know that we're just as important and we need these roads done, because when businesses come in, they're driving around looking, and it looks like that, it may deter them. So it does help. And I do appreciate the state getting in here and doing this.
Sure,
Absolutely.
sure. And just for our Facebook warriors out there, all the ones that have been complaining about the roads, we don't want to hear one complaint when we're filed down to one lane going through there, because they're making those improvements.
May want to go Highway 70 to Nashville a few weeks.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine. Mark, thank you so much. It's been an honor to have you and all the county officials with us this week, and thank you for what you do. And congratulations on your second-year anniversary coming up in just a couple of weeks.
Well, thank you, Flash. I've enjoyed it. I know y'all have enjoyed the fair this week, and it's still going on. I urge everybody to come down and eat some food over at the Rescue Squad or the library booth. I've been eating lunch down here every day, and it's always great. Good fair food.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Mark, if you need us, if you need to get some information out on any topic related to county government, you know where we're at, my friend.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you. Mark Ward, our county mayor, on this portion of the Man at the Fair broadcast.